Also, this song always produced by the Kindgenius, engineered by the Kindgenius.
Oh, you engineered too?
I think he sensed it.
Engineered.
Right questions tonight. Word up.
Because the thing is, one of the problems, people don't give engineers their respect.
I
You know what I'm saying?
appreciate
I was in the studio recently, and we did 3 new joints. And my man, Jerry Jukebox in the building, like we was talking about that, and like the engineer never get like respect. But there's a lot of people that don't sound good at all. Like it's awful. But then when the engineers step in, they're amazing. No, it's a collective effort, and I just felt like it was always foul that the engineers never get the light. The producers get everything, but the engineers never get that.
But let us everyone know who we have in the building, because of course he's always giving props. He's always helping people. You know what I mean? But we got the one and only Hip Hop Gamer is in the building. Let's get another round of applause. Hip Hop Gamer is in the building, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, this is quite a great story. I met Hip Hop Gamer. We both from New York. Hip Hop Gamer represents Brooklyn. I represent Queens, right? We met in L.A. for the BET Award weekend.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We both happened to be out in L.A., and I just seen this guy with crazy energy. I'm a gamer myself, and I seen him in the video game section. He had the energy. I'm like, yo, who is this dude right here, man? And then I seen what he was doing. I said, yo, I got to show him the prototype of my game. And when I showed him, he was like, yo, old fan, this is dope. Yo, I got to get you on my show. I didn't know this was Hip Hop Gamer at the time. You feel what I'm saying? But yes, man, Hip Hop Gamer's in the building. Yo, I want to welcome you on the show, Hip Hop Gamer. Thank you for being on VIGGA Radio. First and foremost, what I want to do is, because, you do a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? Through all the gaming, you got Hot 97, you're a journalist, the gaming journalist, Hot 97. You wear many hats. You know what I mean? I've come to you doing TV show programs. Yep. You have your own Hip Hop Gamer show. Yep. When we met in LA, you told me, yo, man, I'm going to have you on your show. You kept your word, and you put me on Hot 97, man. Yep. So I got to thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? That was real big of you to do such a great thing. And what I want to do, first and foremost, Hip Hop Gamer, right? Now, I know this. How did you get the name Hip Hop Gamer?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. So we're going to set it off like this, right? So it's 2 parts to this story. So one, my grandmother, she taught, rest in peace, she taught me how to play video games when I was 4 years old. So I've been playing video games all my life, and that became my career. So I'm a gamer because of my grandma. So the name, before I even knew it was going to be my name, it started with grandma. You know what I'm saying? So then when I turned 14, a lot of people don't know this, but like
I'm an artist. Like I really do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So when I turned 14, I started making music. I was inspired by my brother and my cousins, but also inspired by Biggie, KRS-One, Wu-Tang, like the culture, you know what I'm saying? So then that's how the hip-hop side came, because I wasn't just a fan anymore. I wanted to be a creator in hip-hop. So that's how it all came together in terms of Hip-Hop Gamer. But at that time, I'm a teenager, so that's not my name yet, but it's in my blood. Here's what changed everything, son. So MC Shan, shout out to MC Shan and stuff like that, they was going to sign us, right? It was a group that we had called HLC, and went from HLC to NOD, and then we were supposed to get signed. And that's when I really started taking hip-hop serious. And I'm from East New York, Brooklyn, and I was like on the gangster side, trying to do this, do that. My grandmother wasn't happy with that, obviously. But when I realized that something was wrong, I was like, something don't feel right in the music industry. Like, overall, something don't feel right. I'm like, they want 20%, they want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, something ain't right. So, I decided to not go that route to be a rapper, you know what I mean, and get a deal. I just wanted to stick to what I loved, and that was video games. But how can I make music in the gaming space so I don't have to lose that part of me, right? So that's how that set the tone. Then in 2008, I got discovered by a gentleman by the name of Torrance Davis, and he had a website called thebitbag.com. I called out one of his writers because his writers he was lying about, and this is back in 2007, he was lying about Assassin's Creed, and he was talking about how it was better on Xbox than it was on PlayStation. And I was like, no, it's not better. Both games run great. It's just that Xbox got achievements and PlayStation, they didn't have trophies yet. So he tried to make it seem like the game was bad because that wasn't there. But it was a lie. The game ran great. It just didn't have this feature. It was a difference. So Torrance reached out to me, and he loved the fact that I challenged his writer. Then he invited me on his podcast. He loved the podcast. He loved what I did with my show every Sunday. And he said, have you ever been to E3? And I was like, hold up. Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been to E3, so this is a dream come true. Mm-hmm. So that's when I realized the brand started really getting bigger, and I was like, yo, hip-hop gamer, this is who I am, this is what I do, so this is how we gonna rock with it. So, like, my name came from my grandma and my love to do, hip-hop, but the brand came from the business side of taking my life seriously in the gaming space.
Wow, that's an incredible story, man. Dope, so dope to hear the creation and the origin of Hip Hop Gamer. You feel what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Now, what I want to ask you as well, because you're a great journalist, right?
Thank you, man.
You've interviewed top-notch people. You feel what I'm saying? First of all, how did you get into now? Because gaming and hip hop is one thing, and even challenging somebody on websites, and that's one thing. Becoming a journalist is something different. How did you become an incredible journalist? What's the story behind that of you becoming this journalist who you are?
All right, so I'm going to tell you right now, real talk. I've always been a fan of, like, New York Undercover. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a fan of Law and Order and, like, those shows, right? And what I love about, like, journalism, and I didn't even realize this, I've always been a person where it's about facts over feelings. So how do you get to the facts? It's hard because people will lie to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you get this story, you get this story. So what I've learned is this game that they call telephone, where if you got 7 people in the room, and by the time you tell them something, but by the time it comes back to you, it's not the same thing that you said, out the gate. So how do you keep people honest? Like, how do you become a great journalist if it's based off facts when you know people lie to you? So what I did was I started building real relationships. And because of the relationship capital, that allowed me to be a great journalist because I got a chance to know who people are. And when I know who people are, I learn your mannerisms, you know what I'm saying? I learn what makes you tick, what triggers you. I learned these things about people. So I took that strategy to strangers. So how do I get to know a lot about a person right out the gate? And what I do is I give everybody what they want. Because now everybody always talk about they want power, but then when they get it, how you going to act with it? How you going to act with something that you never had? So that's one of the instincts that made me realize that in order for me to be a great journalist, I always got to lead with love. So one thing I was infatuated about journalism is how it changed my life. So God is the truth. That's the way, I live my life. I put God first. God is the truth. So I can't operate in life without truth. So that's one of the elements that made me a great journalist. Then secondly, because of the relationship that I started building with people that I interviewed, I got a chance to pull out things that they normally wouldn't talk about. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. Because I love journalism so much, one of the questions that I always ask everyone is, what was a moment in your life where you felt like you was at your worst and things couldn't get any better, but you managed to find strength in that moment that allowed you to be successful today? And the stories that you start to hear from people, like, you get to see them in their most vulnerable state. You get a chance to see what their pain is like. You get a chance to see who they are. And that's, once I got a chance to see who people are, that's when I realized I was a great journalist, because not only did I pull this out of them, but I gave the world something to be inspired by because of the truth of the question. So that's how I feel like I became a great journalist, through watching New York Undercover and studying body language and doing all these other things and applying it to my daily life. So it became more than just being a game journalist. It became like, you got to live your life through truth, because your word is all you got at the end of the day. And because I practice that every day, becoming a journalist, it became second nature to me.
Wow. Incredible, man. Yo, that's dope, yo. That's real dope, man. Hip hop gamer, man. Let me ask you this now also, because a lot of artists, because the gaming community is huge. I grew up as a gamer as well. There's so many gamers in this world, and there's a lot of artists that are heavy into gaming as well.
Yes.
I've seen you interview a lot of people. I've seen you bust them down in the game real quick.
Yes.
I've witnessed that. Now, hip hop and gaming kind of go hand in hand a lot in the NBA Live, the 2Ks. These things go hand in hand. I've even seen that you are on video games.
Absolutely.
As an artist. Now, tell me a little bit about how you got yourself on video games as an artist.
All right, so my story is a bit different, son. You know what I'm saying? Then remember what I told you earlier in the last question about the relationships, like the importance of that. So one person I want to give a big shout out to is my man David Jaffe. You know what I'm saying? David Jaffe, for those that don't know, son, he created God of War. We gonna say that again. Can I get a round of applause, please, for my man David Jaffe? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about, son. Yeah. Yo, David Jaffe, Sean, listen, son. David Jaffe created Twisted Metal, and he created God of War. Like, that alone right there lets you know what's up. And David, I got a chance to meet David Jaffe at E3. So I'm up here doing an interview with him. Well, actually, before I met him in person, I kept hitting him up, like, in the early part of my career. And I was like, yo, you don't understand. Like, God of War, like, literally, like, changed my life. I'll give you an example. Back when the Virgin Megastore was open, all right? This is like Manhattan. Back when the Virgin Megastore was open, right? Yeah. I saw PlayStation 2 on a demo kiosk, right? And God of War was there. First time I ever seen God of War. And you got to kill the serpent and you destroy him and all this other. I couldn't believe it. I lost it. Because Kratos had a lot of my personality. And because, all the energy. And then when I learned the story about Kratos, where he gave his soul to Ares, so Ares could wipe out the enemies, like the army. And then in the process of doing that, Ares made Kratos kill his own family. So he killed his daughter and his wife. So, and the ashes of his wife and daughter became his skin. So he's plagued every day. Every time he look at himself, he hate himself because of what he did. And it just made me relate to, like, the way black people be treated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just being black and just, like, living that life and feeling like, dag, like, just because of this, people treat me a certain way. That's crazy. So I related to it a lot. So that gave me a different level and passion. So when I got a chance to reach out to David Jaffe and do an interview, it was like, it meant everything to me. And to him, he was like, yo, I never had an interview like this before. Like, it was crazy. And I was like, yo, I also do music as well. So we actually built a real friendship first. So me getting my song in the game wasn't based off, dang, I'm gotta get this manager and try to find a. Nah, it was literally based off a real relationship I built with David Jaffe. I made a song and sent it directly to him. He said, I loved it, I'm putting in my game.
Wow.
And that's how I got in the game. So what I try to tell people is, you may not have the most money, you may not be able to do certain things, but character is your currency. I tell people all the time, character is your currency, Sean. And who you are is the value. Everything else is a byproduct of who you are. So if you don't like certain things that's going on, look at yourself and create the change so things around you can change along with it. You understand what I'm saying? So not only am I, did the song for Twisted Metal, but I also did the song for Watch Dogs 2. I got DNA, battle rapper DNA on that track with me, and we got that in the game. You could drive around listening to us in the game. You know what I'm saying? When you get the Song Sneak app in Watch Dogs 2. And then I'm also in NBA 2K Playgrounds, as a character. So you could pick me and LeBron James together.
Wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, and there's more to come.
Yeah.
So it's like, dog, relationship capital, character is your currency. Those are the key things to make things happen, because anybody that has the position of power financially to buy something, you could buy your way to things, but there's no substance in the purchase. But when you actually build something real with somebody, then it's like, money or not, because of who you are, I'm going to help you, because I know you're doing your best to help yourself. So those is just the ways that I took, and the roads that I took, and the path that I took to be able to make these things real.
Man, powerful. You definitely manifest a lot of things in your life by your passion. Like you say, you lead with love.
Yep.
Strongest power in the world. You know what I mean? That can move mountains, basically. You know what I mean? Now, I do want to ask this too, because, you know, when I met you, you out there, you were doing your thing. It was like a convention type of situation. There was like all type of things going on around and everything. Now, how did you land the situation with Hot 97? You know, because now this, for New York City, for those that's around the world listening, tuning in, New York City, everybody knows on your Hot 97 every day, that's my word. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that. And they know the power and history of that station for this city and for the culture of hip-hop, man. So how did that happen?
All right, cool. So check this out, right? So you know, I always got crazy stories. So here's another one, right? So Facebook was making this game called VIGGA, right? And they had Neo represented and stuff like that. I told them multiple times, this game is horrible. It ain't gonna work. You can't buy your way to authenticity in the gaming culture, especially. And one of the reasons why that people need to understand is that in gaming, you still gotta respect the dollar. Like, Nas could drop an album and I could just listen to it on YouTube. I don't have to buy it if I don't want to. I can, or I can just go on Spotify subscription service and just listen to some stuff or whatever. Okay, fine. But I don't have to buy your album. I don't got to get anything from you. Now, in movies, the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to directly buy your stuff. I don't. Now, I know in the gaming space, you guys Xbox Game Pass, they're trying to change the narrative on a lot of things, and that's good. But I'm going to tell you, just keep it real. In gaming, you gotta buy the headsets, you gotta have the internet connection, you gotta buy the system, you gotta buy, you know, the Elgato, you know, like there's so many things that you have to invest in, which means you're gonna value it more, and that's the big difference between this medium and you know, other mediums. So back to the question, with Hot 97, I was telling them like, yo, look, like Facebook, this is not gonna work. So they did it anyway, and they had a red carpet event. Now, at the red carpet event, Ebro's there, Peter Rosenberg is there, everybody's there. It's crazy. This Facebook, you know they spending the bread. So I'm on, now, before I was with Hot 97 and everything, I'm already doing my own thing, hip-hop game, and I'm already interviewing people. Like before Hot 97, I already had Ryan Reynolds on the show, you know, on my show. I had Denzel Washington on my show, bro. Before all of that. Wow. So I just want to make it clear, because, you know, a lot of times on the outside looking in, people will be like, oh, he got that cuz. Oh, he got that cuz. Nah. I want to give a big shout out to my homegirl, Kim Walters. So in the movie industry, I'm getting
do your thing.
In the movie industry, TV, film, all that, they are trying to find new ways to reach newer audiences. So what I was telling them is, look, that's great that they trying to expand, but internally, y'all don't have, like, gaming is the #1 form of entertainment, period. More than music and movies combined. But yet, y'all don't tap into anything with it, so you're going to miss out. You don't have anything. So they started trying to find, like, urban, you know, people that can talk about their products through gaming. You only going to come to hip-hop gaming when it comes to that, at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. Shout out to my man Danny Penna, Godfrey over at Game Attack Radio. Shout out to my man Paris over at Game Attack Radio as well, because they're black, they love hip hop, and they, you know, talk about things too. But there's a difference between them and me, because like I am a hip hop artist as well as a gamer. Like, you know, I have a different persona than they have. So when they started reaching out to different platforms to get more attention on their film and their TV shows, that's when Kim came to me. He's like, yo, I got a deal for you, blah, blah, blah. This is what we want to accomplish. So I put together programs, like marketing campaigns and programs for a list of movies. So Battleship, RZA's The Man with the Iron Fist, and all these, you know, a bunch of other movies. We did that, and it was like, oh, wow, this worked. This is great. So now we need to do more stuff. So when the Hot 97 situation popped up, I'm doing an interview with Peter Rosenberg, right? And this is right when Nicki Minaj and Peter Rosenberg was going at it, when Peter Rosenberg was talking about the Starship joint and how Nicki ain't real, she like commercial now, something like that, right? So then so I'm interviewing him, and we had a great conversation. Now, you know it's a great conversation when you only spent like 3 minutes doing the interview, because it was quick, but it was powerful. So he's like, yo, we got to continue this. We got to do more, right? So then I spoke with I guess Peter Rosenberg's agent at the time or manager at the time. So she was like, "Yo, you come to Hot 97 so we can finish this." I'm like, "Yo, that's great." So then I said, "How come y'all don't have gaming at Hot 97? Like, I don't get it. Like, because at the end of the day, it goes hand in hand. Like we talked about earlier. How come y'all don't have it?" I knew why they didn't have it because you don't have nobody internally to do it. So if you don't got nobody to do it, you just gonna leave it on the table. So that was that, right? Now, it didn't happen right away. I work in the mailroom. So what people don't understand, just to give you a history on me, I've been working in the mailroom for Universal Music Group from 2000 to 2016. Okay? So I seen, like when you see like Jay-Z's right-hand man, Ty and all of them. I know all these people because I delivered mail for them for over 10 years. So Murder Inc., Bloodline with DMX, rest in peace DMX, like all these people, I've been around them. So what happened is Universal Republic, my man Davey D, he pulled me to the side. He's like, "Yo, I see what you're doing. I know what you got going on. You really need to talk to Hot 97. Like, for real. They could use you, and Power 105 is coming up. So you need to make that move. I can help, but if you get an opportunity, you should do that." And I was like, "You know what? Bet." And then I was like, "Yo, we got to make this happen." So one thing led to another conversation-wise. They brought me up to the station. I laid out the plan on how we could build this out, but y'all got to trust me because y'all don't know this. I know this. So you got to, like, believe in me for real, so I could do my thing. And then, like, many, many years later, I'm still with Hot 97, but I'm not an employee there. I'm a partner. There's a difference.
Big difference.
So I leverage them, they leverage me, and we work together, and we do big things collectively. And now I have a lot more partners than just Hot 97 too. So yeah, man. But that's how it all happened, man. I saw opportunity. People believed in me, don't get me wrong, but I saw opportunity for something that they didn't have. So it's like a puzzle. If you don't got something and I got it, we can put it together to get the bigger picture.
Man, yo, Hip Hop Gamer story is amazing. You know what I mean? I wish I had 2-3 more hours we could build. You know what I mean? You know how we do. We could build on this. But VIGGA Radio is coming to a close. What I want you to do is please let them know, because like you said, I know the thing that you're connected with, but let the people know what you're connected with, what you got going on next, and how they can find you.
All right, got you. So, definitely you could catch me on Hot 97. I'm also officially signed to Furia Esports, which is the third biggest esports organization in the world, soon to be number one. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 100 Thieves, maybe number one. Then after that, FaZe Clan in terms of globally. That's gonna change. I'm here. I'm in the building now, so that's gonna change. Like, the number one spot is already for the taking. If they don't know, they're gonna find out real soon. So that's a wrap right there. Furia all day. Then also I'm with AMD, and a lot of people may not generally know what AMD is, but without AMD, you have no Xbox, you have no PlayStation, because AMD is the chipset that powers PlayStation and Xbox as well as PC gaming. So when you look at the CPU and the GPU and the RDNA graphic technology and the systems, that's AMD, and those are my partners as well. So I'm partnered with AMD, and also there's other things that's coming that I can't speak on, but one thing I will say for now, I will be in New Orleans with the Pelicans NBA team, and so you also know that means New Orleans Saints with the NFL team. I can't speak much, but all I can say is there's a reason why I'm going to be out there, and I'm on the brink of doing something that's never been done, especially from a game journalist. So those are just some places that you can find me at. Shout out to Qualcomm as well. Qualcomm is one of the biggest tech companies out there with the mobile phones, doing graphics for that and that technology. And also, you see it on my belt, baby, Logitech G all day, yo. I'm telling you, you want to get down with a real creating group, Logitech G all day, son. I'm telling you, the headsets, the mouse, the keyboard, we own Streamlabs, so a lot of the stream, like when you watching Twitch or whatever, they're using Streamlabs to broadcast on. You know what I'm saying? Over 75 mil right there. So at the end of the day, it don't matter where you go, where you turn, Hip Hop Gamer is involved with everything. I'm much more than just a host and stuff like that. I make the industry move, period. So get with me. I'm blessed and humbled. Love y'all. Yo, VIGGA all day. Let's get it, baby.
You already know, man. Shout out to Hip Hop Gamer, the one and only Hip Hop Gamer on VIGGA Radio. And we're going to get into a record real quick. Matter of fact, let's get into that Ooh Baby featuring Marquis and also Just Real.